On my website, I talk about being committed to realizing a more equitable art world or art ecosystem. And I think what that really looks like for me is kind of being in constant dialogue with myself about whether my practices are in alignment with my worldview. And I think operating from an understanding in a place that we all are implicated in harmful systems and systems that perpetuate inequality and oppression. And I think doing the constant work of really noticing and observing what are those hidden and kind of unseen ways that policies that kind of uphold heteropatriarchy or racism or ableism are held in place in the places we occupy, and then really thinking about how I can use my sphere of influence to affect change from the spaces that I occupy, and asking questions of myself and others about how they're in right relationship to change.
Great. Anyone else to add on to that?
Yeah, for me, the equitable part really stands out with kind of being open and fair to what that market looks like. And for me, it's kind of every day making sure that when I'm making decisions, I'm including other people that don't look like me or look like me and haven't had the opportunity to shine in a certain experience. Because ultimately, the equity that we bring to the market that we're in is going to be not single-handedly biased or in line with just one idea. It's really kind of spreading out all that we do on whatever it is.
Great.
Thank you so much for having me here. So I think a nasty boy, in and of itself, is a celebration of the radical existence of queer people of color around the world. And when I started the publication, I was back in Nigeria, living a very comfortable life, and following up on the thesis that I've written back in university on human rights and anti-gay law, was in Nigeria. And I thought, why don't I explore this further? And so I was in law school when I sort of reached out to a friend and said, I would love to design this publication and all that. And then we put that together. So from the beginning, it was about exploring otherness in people and culture and fashion. Sort of, as you know, Nigeria is a very, very homophobic country, and so just creating a platform that celebrates people who are living very courageous lives, not because they choose to, but because the country has decided to sort of criminalize the way they love, the way they express themselves and all that. So, essentially, I like to think that it's a celebration of the free-spiritedness of life and people and the exuberance of culture and other things as well. So, in that sense, it is creating an equitable world where people are free to live as they wish, as they desire, without repercussions.
Hi everyone. So nice to see everyone's face. Yeah, I think for me in particular, things became more about equality or inclusivity when Mr. Orange entered presidency. Because I started sort of, I was in school in Savannah. I had left New York, and I was in a very weird bubble, and it really made me miss the vibrancy of New York and I took that for granted as like a person who grew up here. I always thought people were just like awesome all the time. And you know, like just always allowing people to be who they were. And then I took a trip back to the Dominican Republic for the first time after 8 years as an adult. And I met my cousin, who I've been photographing for quite a while. And that's kind of where I think I would say that inclusivity is like some part of my work. And I think it's been exacerbated by the fact that people like my cousin, or people like I'm sure a lot of us have here, are not necessarily accepted because they're not American or in some sort of way. Even though they're just kind of, these folks are like seeking the same thing that we are. So with my little cousin Leo, it's really interesting because these kids are like innocent and they have no clue that they're like an army of people out there who don't want them here. Yeah, and so I think for me it's important to try and to focus on immigration. I've been hyper-focused on the Dominican Republic because it's a small island, it's where I'm from, and I think up until recently it wasn't necessarily represented, even though we're like such a huge part of this city specifically.